Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in for our allergy presentation today. My name is Eric Schrock, and I'm a licensed acupuncturist for Align Modern Health, and I'm out of the Evanston Clinic. But we do have clinics all throughout the city, as I'm sure many of you have seen, so we'd love to see you. Just so you know, I can't see or hear you, but I will be taking questions at the end. And if you want to ask any questions during, that's fine. Just type it into the chat box. And again, I'll get to those once I've finished. So a little bit about myself. I've been practicing for almost 5 years now, and I've been with Align for close to 2 years. I have a master's degree in Oriental Medicine, and all of the acupuncturists with the company have at least a master's, and many of them also have their doctorates in Chinese medicine as well. So we are all very, very qualified. It does take a little time for us to study this, which a lot of people will be surprised to hear. But that's just so that we can treat you to the best of our abilities. All right, so let's just jump on into the alternative allergy support presentation. So allergies. Our immune system responds to foreign substances that are harmful to us by producing antibodies. And these antibodies are designed to help neutralize the pathogens. So in the case of allergies, our immune system recognizes the allergens as harmful, even though typically they're not. So common allergies that people experience, I'm sure these are no stranger to you, are food, pets, insect bites, or stings, drugs, mold, plants, some different kinds of metals, latex, etc. And some of the symptoms I'm sure many of you unfortunately have experienced or are experiencing or are going to experience once these seasons change. It's a watery eyes, sneezing, runny nose, rash, swelling, some inflammation, maybe some tingling and wheezing. And the causes of allergies. So causes of allergies are not super clear. Modern research does not give us a clear reason why some of us have allergies and some of us do not. But there's definitely some genetic component to it. But that genetic component doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to be getting the same allergy that your parents have. So if your mom has a shellfish allergy, that doesn't mean that you are probably going to have a shellfish allergy. But you will be more susceptible to other kinds, maybe that's pets, dander, or mold, maybe a metal allergy, right? So we each have our own triggering factors, but the outside world is, of course, a major one. And our internal environment is a representation of the external. So if you think of a high pressure weather system moving into a low pressure, that's kind of how our body is. So if our body is imbalanced, that's allowing space for these external pathogens to come in. And in Chinese medicine, we're really all about balancing the body so that you're strong and these things don't have as much of an opportunity to penetrate into our system. Stress is a major aggravator for everything. So I've seen plenty of patients with pain, like low back pain or shoulder pain, that are, their symptoms are increased with stress. And that's why a lot of times, maybe you've experienced this also, going on vacation, maybe your shoulder pain magically disappears. Stress, of course, also negatively impacts sleep and will definitely decrease our immune system, our immune health, if we are constantly stressed out. Diet, of course, plays a huge role, and I'm sure you've all heard that you are what you eat. So the poor diet can lead to poor internal health, and this will then aggravate the severity of your allergy symptoms. Check here. So a note on anaphylaxis. This is a very severe response to an allergen, and symptoms may include severe shortness of breath, decreased blood pressure, loss of consciousness, rapid and weak pulse, some nausea, vomiting. This is definitely life-threatening, and many people who have this will know, of course, and will probably be carrying around an EpiPen with them in their daily routine. Common treatments for allergies. So I'm sure most of you have heard of a lot of these. Some things like antihistamines like Benadryl, or corticosteroids and decongestants. Immunotherapy is gaining quite a bit of popularity nowadays. So this is several injections over several years to help your body get used to the offending allergens. So it's kind of introducing it slowly so that your body says, oh, okay, this maybe is not a terrible thing. Epinephrine, that's what we talked about, the EpiPen for those really severe reactions. And then my favorite, of course, is the alternative care. So acupuncture, herbal medicine, and diet and lifestyle recommendations, which we're going to jump into right now. The East Asian approach. So this is what I'm doing. This is tailored to the individual's needs, okay? So in Chinese medicine, we are targeting the root cause. We're not just treating the disease, but we're treating what's going on internally that's allowing your body to respond this way, in kind of an unnatural way, I guess. So we're trying to find out what the underlying issue is, besides, of course, the allergen. We want to know what kind of symptoms you have and have they changed over time. And I'm sorry, I was distracted a little bit. So if you have a runny nose maybe this year and maybe last year you had more itchy eyes, so we're trying to figure out if anything's changed. Have there been any lifestyle changes, right? Have you changed jobs? Have you started exercising more or less? Or if you changed your routine? All of these things are going to give me a lot of information to help process what's going on with you so we can treat accordingly. And the three major modalities that I use here at Align Modern Health are acupuncture, herbal medicine, and those diet and lifestyle modifications. Okay? Acupuncture. I hope some of you have tried acupuncture. It's really fantastic stuff. And it is quite painless, actually. So acupuncture is a patient-centered approach to your health. And we are focused, again, on the root cause of what's going on with you. And by treating the root cause, then we can restore balance to the body. So in a case where you maybe have some nasal congestion, I probably will do a couple points near there, but I'm going to be doing points in different places of the body because this is how you're getting the whole system involved instead of just focusing on this area, because this really isn't going to move things out of the system. But by treating systemically, that's how we're going to get you to where you need to be. Okay? So how else does acupuncture help? It will reduce those stress levels. It helps promote blood flow. It can reduce your inflammatory response. It can totally increase your immune function. And a lot of this is done by increasing those white blood cell counts throughout your body. And really, like I keep kind of going back to, is acupuncture harmonizes and strengthens the body's own resources to get back to homeostasis or balance, right? So balance, balance, balance. As long as your body is balanced, then you are going to be much healthier. So a huge reason why people don't try acupuncture is because they're scared of needles, right? And I was a little bit nervous my first acupuncture session all those years ago. But as this chart or as this picture shows, it's nothing to be worried about, right? So on the far left, you have our acupuncture needle, sewing needle, medical syringe, and in many cases, what you can do is you can actually fit 10 to up to even 20 of our little acupuncture needles within the head of that medical syringe. So very, very tiny. So herbal medicine. I also practice herbal medicine here. And herbal medicine, Chinese herbal medicine has been around for a really, really long time. And it's very, very patient specific, just like the acupuncture is. And you can kind of think of herbal medicine as a nutritional supplement, but again, specific to your individual needs. I'm sorry. So if you go into like a CVS or Walgreens, a lot of people will pick up, like a multivitamin. And so everybody can take a multivitamin. But the herbal medicine approach to your health, again, is really specific because even if you have, say, a congested nose or watery, itchy eyes, and you're presenting the same exact way as your friend or your spouse, that doesn't mean that you would get the same treatment because there are most likely different underlying causes. So we're gonna be very specific to your needs. And then another thing you can do, they're gonna remove obstructions. Maybe you have pain, so it's gonna move blood or mucus or lymph from the system. It can act like an antihistamine to combat an itchy rash as well. Okay, moving on to the next slide. I hope you guys could see these. These are some on-site herbal formulas that we have at Align Modern Health. We have plenty more, but these are some of the ones that we use a little bit more often. Pneuma helps with wheezing and shortness of breath. So Pneuma is connected to the lungs, right? So wheezing and shortness of breath is pretty obvious. Restore, this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier, building up those nutritional deficiencies. And when you build up those nutritional deficiencies, you're definitely going to aid your immune health. Xanthi will help to clear deep-seated sputum from those sinuses. Grace and Ease is really good for stress. And a lot of people's digestive issues are aggravated with stress. So Grace and Ease would be something perfect for someone presenting like that many times. Base Camp with mushrooms, one of my favorites, will help to strengthen the immune system. And Allergy, like it sounds, it's great for allergies. It helps to strengthen the immune system. All right. So just some of the formulas that we have. Of course, there are hundreds that we have learned in school for this medicine, and then there's also modifications that we can do to those formulas to make it perfect, just perfect for your health. Right. I think this is the last slide here. So diet and lifestyle. In Chinese medicine, we really don't like the idea of cold. And if you think about it, when you go outside in the wintertime, you kind of tense up, right? And things don't flow as efficiently as they do. I like to run outside, and I've noticed in the warmer weather, I'm almost warmed up already when I leave the front door, and it doesn't take me so long to get really loose. Whereas in the wintertime, sometimes it can take, maybe even a few miles to start to feel good. So we want to try to avoid the cold, and also especially with your foods, right? So salads and vegetables, of course, vegetables are healthy, they're great for you. But if you could cook them, they'd be even better because if you have cold vegetables, your body has to reheat them with the fire, your internal digestive fire. And so it takes a lot of energy to do that, and processing them isn't as efficient. So if you cook them, or if you incorporate something warming like a ginger and cinnamon tea along with it, that's going to help your body process those nutrients a lot more efficiently. Eating with the seasons is always good. I'm sure you've heard. So now my parents have a great little garden. Their tomatoes are coming in. They've had a lot of eggplants and peppers. So all those things right now would be really nice. And then once we start to shift towards fall, when the different gourds come into season, and pears and apples and those kinds of things, you can start to cook those, and it'll be really healthy for you. All right. And then the last thing is exercise. Restorative exercises really are the best here in Chinese medicine. So things like yoga and Tai Chi, which I'm sure you've heard of, are really nice to help kind of settle the mind and get that body to where it needs to be. And I think that's all. The last slide is thank you. So I'm going to try to pull up some of the questions that I saw here. If I can find it. Let's see. Here we go. Okay, slides weren't working. I see that. Okay, well, so if anybody has any questions, go ahead and type them in here. Okay, so one of the questions that we have is, does acupuncture get covered by insurance? We are networked with a few different insurances here at Align Modern Health, and of course, it is up to your plan. So one of the easiest ones that we use is Blue Cross Blue Shield, but as long as you are, as long as we're in network and your plan covers it, absolutely, acupuncture can cover you, and more are starting to do that. So it's really, really nice. Yeah. And somebody asked, does acupuncture hurt? So no, like I said earlier, the needles are really small, and most of the time you just feel a little tap. You can feel warmth, tingling sensations, itchy sensations, ticklish sensations, and all of those will go away pretty quickly. And then most people start to get really relaxed on the table, take a little nap, and then we get you out of here. Here, what else do we have? How long does acupuncture session take? So an acupuncture session The first one over here at Align Modern Health, we book out 90 minutes because I want to ask you a lot of questions in the beginning and give you enough time to cover all of the concerns that you may have. And then after that, each session is only an hour. You come in, we reassess, we do the acupuncture, and then you lie in the bed from anywhere from maybe a half hour to even up to 50 minutes, however long you're comfortable. Is telemedicine an option for Chinese medicine? Absolutely, yes. Telemedicine, we do a lot of herbal medicine, and then I'll kind of show you some acupressure points that you can do on your own. So from the safety of your own home, we can still prescribe you some great herbal medicine and recommendations as well. And okay, and then is acupuncture okay for a child, 11 years old? Absolutely. And how long does it take to see results for allergies? So yes, children get acupuncture. We are a little bit more gentle, and we are more, I'm sorry, we are in the room for a longer amount of time with them so that they're nice and comfortable. And how long does it take to see results? You know, it really depends on the person, but usually you're going to start to see a decrease in your symptoms, excuse me, after the first session even. It's pretty astonishing. The first time I saw it, it was really exciting. So yeah, just after one session, you can start to feel some changes, but usually to get into the root cause of why you're having the allergies, that's going to take a little bit longer. But that's what we're going to assess in that first treatment, and then each subsequent one after that to see how we're progressing and if anything needs to change. How much is Grace and Ease? I believe our formulas are right around the $30 mark, but you do have to come in and at least do a consultation to make sure that we are giving you the right formula, because yes, Grace and Ease is great for stress and digestive issues, but there are other formulas that will work just as well depending on your presentation, right? So Chinese medicine, like herbal medicine, it's not something that you just want to pick up on online or on Amazon or something. We do spend a lot of time studying how these will affect different presentations. So coming in and getting the correct formula is really, really important so that it works for you. All right. Does anybody else have any other questions before I sign off here? Let me just pop through these, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, here's another box. Okay. Yeah. So how many treatments does it take? I'm sorry. Let me. Okay. So now I think you can see me here. That's better. How many acupuncture treatments does it take to help relieve the symptoms? So again, the first time, most likely you will feel some sort of relief. Sometimes, a small relief, and sometimes a huge relief. It just depends on the person. And then is each person treated differently according to their symptoms? Absolutely. Everybody, if you have the same presentation, if you have the same exact symptoms as someone else in your family, again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get the same treatment. Almost definitely you won't, because there's going to be one or two different points based on your presentation. Okay. So I think I got to everybody's question. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so let me pull up the PowerPoint again, and then I'll share my screen so you know who to contact here. So yeah, I'm here in Evanston. For anybody with any more questions, feel free to come in for a 15-minute consultation. That's free. And you can call to schedule at 312-216-2452. And if anybody has any specific questions you want to ask of me personally, don't hesitate to send me an email. My email is eric.schrock@alignmodernhealth.com. So eric.schrock@alignmodernhealth.com. And then you can go to the website and view my information as well. All right, I'll just see if we have any more questions. Can I provide any more information on how acupuncture as it relates to the lymphatic system and benefits? So just like everything else, in the body, we are focused on balance. So if there is some issues with drainage or swelling, we are focused on moving those blockages that you may have and getting that whole system back to balance where it needs to be. Okay? I hope I answered your question okay. And I think that is it. So thank you guys so much for spending part of your lunch with me. Again, feel free to contact our scheduling department or send me an email. And I'd love to see you soon. Align is all over the city and the suburbs, so you can see any one of us and we'll take really good care of it.